Thank
you,
volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, volunteers. Muchas gracias. We love you. We wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, volunteers. Thank you very much for all your help.
Thanks for everything you do, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers. We really appreciate you so much.
You're awesome.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Pima College Adult Basic Education for College and Career, first ever all virtual volunteer celebration. My name is Montserrat Caballero. I am the Volunteers and Student Engagement Coordinator, and I have the honor of being your MC tonight. As we get this celebration started, I want to acknowledge that PCC is situated on the cultural and ancestral lands of the Tahana Atam and Pascuayaqui people, both past and present. As those who value education, I invite you to learn more about the lands that we live, work, and learn. We may be having a virtual celebration this year, and you all know why, but we really want to take this time to celebrate you, despite these challenging times. We really want to celebrate you, our volunteers, even though we can't be together in person. Our theme this year is we do not know what we would do without you, and we really don't. Volunteers are crucial to our mission of student success. We miss being with you in person, but let's see if we can create a sense of community. Let's use that chat right now and all throughout the night. If you know someone who's volunteering, if you're a volunteer or an instructor or a student, please give some love in the chat and don't forget to use it all night. Now, we are going to hear from some instructors who want to thank their volunteers personally. And we're going to hear from some students in Instructor Etty Collins' class who want to thank their classroom aide.
Having a volunteer in my class gives the students the opportunity to work with another teacher, getting twice the opportunities to read, ask questions, and engage with the text or topic we're discussing. This is even more important since we've been online. Volunteers help to build our classroom community and to increase student engagement and learning. Simply put, they make our classrooms more effective and more welcoming. I'd personally like to thank Hector and Mary for all they've done in my classrooms.
My volunteer, Keziah Poole, started helping me with my Adult Emergent Reader class in September. Keziah was new to the refugee education program, although not to teaching English, but she almost instantly understood how teaching refugees is a little different. She has created original materials for both groups and one-on-one tutoring, which really contextualizes the teaching compared to materials already available on the internet. Keziah was also completely flexible toward the unique way we combine Zoom and WhatsApp. She showed me better ways to communicate with students on WhatsApp. She speaks Arabic, but no matter the first language of the students, she makes it a priority to get to know the students, even though they've never met in person. Keziah, thank you for helping me through this year, for helping Rep through this year. I don't know what we would do without you.
Us helping us with our English lesson. God bless you. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Thank you for everything. You are a great person. God bless you.
Thank you, Nicole, for your time and class for English. Thank you.
Hi, Nicole. Thank you for your help to
Studying English also due passion and dedication to teaching. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nico.
We appreciate how our entire Pima family recognizes the special work of our ABECC volunteers. Now, we are going to hear from our Chancellor, Lee Lambert, and our Provost, Dr. Dolores Duran Cerda.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Dolores Duran Cerda, and I am your Provost. It is my absolute pleasure to be here today, thanking our amazing volunteers. As the Chancellor has mentioned, we are in unprecedented times. And through this time, our students have been able to count on you, our volunteers. Words cannot express how grateful I am for your willingness to be our volunteers. Your generosity means the world to the students we serve. There is Laurie, an English language volunteer who is holding up flashcards and a whiteboard as she works with a student on his language skills. They have never missed a session since they started working together. There is Dan, recognized by the Arizona Association for Lifelong Learning as Volunteer of the Year, who is working with math students, helping to lessen their anxiety, prepare them to take tests, and is always sharing the innovative ideas with the staff and the students. There is Pat, who has created so much material of her own, and Jean, who works so hard to overcome the technology challenges that the low-level students she works with have. And Lilia, who is working with some individual students and leading a conversation club. Each one of our over 50 volunteers have shown so much resilience, grit, and dedication that is truly above and beyond. Some of you are volunteering when we had to close our physical spaces, and you jumped right in to the new virtual reality. Some of you have joined us during this time with all of your onboarding and training being done virtually, never stepping into a building, and yet making so much of a difference. So we thank you, volunteers, for your amazing generosity and dedication. It is said that volunteering isn't about time, it's about heart. Your heartfelt commitment shows every time you volunteer. From the entire Pima family, we thank you once again. Felicidades. You should be so proud of the work you are doing. We are just so proud, and we wouldn't know what to do without you. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Montserrat. Welcome, staff, students, and our most important guests tonight, our amazing volunteers. My name is Lee Lambert, and I have the privilege to serve as your chancellor. When Pima closed overnight in March 2020, our district pivoted to an all-virtual community, and you were there, dedicated volunteers in ABECC who jumped right in. You held virtual tutoring sessions, you used Zoom, Google, WhatsApp, and scoured YouTube for tutorials, all in the interest of serving students. You have become an integral part of our community during this unprecedented time. I'm a data person, so I want to share some impressive statistics that describe the impact of our volunteers. Each week, volunteers are teaching 5 virtual citizenship classes, assisting approximately 30 to 35 students to prepare to apply for the U.S. citizenship. One of those teaching citizenship is Sirila Rotler. She says of her volunteer experience, "Teaching citizenship is a way for me to give back while helping me find my voice as a young, first-generation American." In addition, each week, close to 60 students are being assisted with reading, writing, math, and English skills in group or one-on-one tutoring. Through classroom assistance, Another approximately 60 students have an extra hand to help them to complete work, to understand the material, to answer their questions, and to problem solve. These accomplishments would be impressive under normal circumstances. The fact that it is happening during a global pandemic is amazing. Being a volunteer is a demanding task. Thank you for dedicating your time and energy. You are doing an excellent job and you are appreciated. Thank you. Back to you, Montserrat.
Thank you, Chancellor, and thank you, Provost. Can you believe it has been a year since this all started? And our volunteers have been right alongside with us, learning new technologies, learning new ways to create community virtually, and adjusting to this new way of being. I hear over and over again from volunteers about how much you feel that you get more out of this experience. To continue our appreciation, we are going to hear from our ABECC leaders, Vice Chancellor Laurie Kirsten Joseph and Director Adam Hostetter.
Good evening. My name is Laurie Kirsten Joseph, and I am the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Adult Basic Education for College and Career. And I started in adult education just over 20 years ago as a volunteer myself. I remember how I immediately fell in love with this work and with the dedicated staff and the amazing students that we get to serve. Much has changed in adult education since I started, and much has stayed the same, including the commitment of dedicated community members like yourselves who give so much. But if you had told me all those years ago that someday we would have to do everything virtually, I would have thought I was being punked. And yet, here we are, and here you all are, working so creatively, open to learning new technologies, and asking for resources and trying new and unknown ways to connect to students. To be a volunteer, it takes generosity, that willingness to give of yourself, give your time to others. It takes understanding because students' lives might be very different from your own. It takes empathy, that ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel what they may feel. It takes compassion to truly care about making someone else's life better. It takes patience because the process doesn't always go as smoothly as we'd like. And it takes dedication to stick with the commitment and see it through. Words cannot express how grateful I am for your willingness to volunteer. And we want to make sure that every volunteer feels appreciated, so I'm going to thank two groups of volunteers by name, our math volunteers and our reading and writing volunteers. So thank you, Chirayu, Dan, Cynthia, Rich, Richard, Derek, Jean, Heather, Hector, Cassie, Catherine, Sergio, Chelsea, Alice, Ron, Kevin, Anjali, Raymond, Joanne, Judy, Sharon, Ed, and Mary. We just don't know how we would do it without you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adam Hostetter. I'm the director at the El Pueblo Liberty Learning Center, which is the home of the volunteer program. I started out as a volunteer myself back in 1995. And in all of the 50 years of ABECC's existence, we have absolutely relied on volunteers to help fulfill our mission. This year in particular, you have been a lifeline to students. You've helped with technology and achieving goals that students have set despite difficult online circumstances. This year's been hard on all of us. We've been worried and concerned, sometimes afraid, and I know how much you are appreciated by our students and their families, and also by me and all of the staff at ABECC. We've also heard that the virtual environment has provided some interesting opportunities. You've seen into your students' homes. You've met their families and their pets. You've gotten tours of their kitchens and gardens, and you've connected in new and meaningful ways. The work you have done for our students is absolutely critical work. It is changing the world. So kudos to you for always finding the positive and for being lifelong learners, learning all kinds of new things during this year, all kinds of new ways to help our students. I am going to specifically be naming two groups of volunteers this evening, our citizenship teachers and our volunteers in our Ella classes. So first, citizenship. I would like to specifically thank Diane, Pete, Rich, Cyrilla, and Mark K. Thank you for your work in our citizenship program, helping students naturalize, learn how important voting is, and become active U.S. citizens. And to our Ella volunteers, I would like to thank Dee, Sangeeta, Laurie, Lilia, Janet, Pat B and Pat H, Jean L, Meryl, Catherine, Tanya, Sue, Carol, Kezia, Nicole, Alex, Mark D, Denise, Adele, Judy, John, Andrea, and Eileen. We are so grateful for all of your hard work. Thank you for your time and your patience. I am so proud of our volunteer program and for the work that each and every one of you have done in supporting our students. We love our volunteers, and we do not know what we would do without you.
Thank you, Laurie and Adam. As you heard, they both started as volunteers. And there is something truly special about adult education. It is transformational for students and their families, staff, instructors, and you, the community members who give so much. Next, we are going to hear from two volunteers, Chirayu Patel, Math Bridge volunteer, and Laurie Austin, English language volunteer.
Hello, my name is Chirayu Patel, and I am a math volunteer. Being a part of this program has been a wonderful experience. I love being able to share my experience and work with students to achieve their dreams. Some of my favorite moments have been enjoying seeing students just say, "Oh, I finally get it," and then being able to tackle some big problems. But I think one of my biggest and my most favorite experiences is just being inspired to see people of all different ages, all different backgrounds, just working to achieve a common goal, especially after completing a long day of work or tackling some other big things. It just makes me realize, how fortunate I am, but how awesome it is that we have these programs that help people just to achieve their dreams.
Hey Chirayu, I know this sign might be a little cheesy, but I wanted everyone to know that I think you're amazing. And I want to thank you too, especially for being a volunteer in my Math Bridge classes. The questions that you ask in class, your insights, and especially your support are so important to not only the students, but to me as well. It is so clear to me that you not only want the students to succeed in this class and pass that math GED test, but you also want them to see the power and the beauty of math in their everyday lives. And that is so cool. In breakout rooms, you're there probing, asking those probing questions and getting students to really think about the problems. And in Jamboards, you are there with those sticky notes, providing really meaningful feedback and just encouraging students. You are a true gem to me, Chirayu, and I am so grateful that you are a volunteer in our program. Thank you, my friend.
Hi, I'm Laurie Austin, and the reason I volunteer is because I got depressed during the 2016 presidential campaign. I needed something that I could do in my community that would be uplifting. I saw a story on the local news about Pima Community College's program for immigrants and refugees. They needed volunteers. So I started leading sessions in a new program they did called Conversation Club, helping ESL students practice speaking English. Looking back, I was really green, but Montserrat gave me some helpful guidance. I kept going because I started getting positive feedback from the students, and they let me know what was working. They loved learning all sorts of things, shared their experiences, and started asking about current topics like fake news, the census, and now things like the Capitol invasion and whether I feel safe getting a COVID vaccination. I also love figuring out techniques and drills to help address my students' specific challenges in pronunciation, grammar, sentence structure, vocabulary, etc. I'm now starting my 5th year, and I keep going because my students inspire me. They educate me, they trust me, they challenge me. I highly recommend it.
Thank you so much, Chirayu and Laurie. Next, we're going to hear from another volunteer, Dan Davidson. Dan was recognized last year as the Arizona Association for Lifelong Learning Volunteer of the Year. He was recognized by several instructors who have worked with him and benefited from his expertise.
Hi, my name is Dan Davidson, and for the past 5 years I've been a tutor and classroom aide for Pima College adult education. And the reason I got started is that 10 years into my retirement, I realized that I needed some socialization. So I decided to look around for volunteering opportunities and found that the El Rio campus needed someone to help in the classroom as an aide. I volunteered and got to work with a wonderful teacher named Katie Brown. I started helping her class tutoring in her basic English class. Then, when another tutor wanted to do that, I felt it was easy for me to move to her math class. And since then, when COVID came, I started working online with another teacher from the Northwest campus, Kathy Christensen. And so for the past year, I've been doing online tutoring individually with her students using a combination of Zoom and Google Meet. You know, in terms of a special moment, I can't think of any one, but what I think I liked best was knowing that I helped particular students. I've been working online with a man named Bruce, who's 74 years old, has had all kinds of developmental and physical disabilities, which they didn't recognize when he was young, so he didn't get a good education. Now he's coming back. When he started with me, he didn't know any math at all. And now he's on the verge of being able to pass the math GED exam, and he's looking forward to taking more math classes at Pima.
Thank you so much, Dan. I always enjoy chatting with you and learning about all of the innovative projects that you're doing. You make retirement look actually both easy and difficult. Our final set of videos is going to be another instructor thanking their volunteer, another student, and we're going to hear from Pete Yonsetto, our longest serving volunteer, a citizenship instructor.
Miss Janet Seward, words cannot express how thankful I am for your support. I have gained confidence in myself thanks to you. I am encouraged to learn more day by day. You have been very patient with me and have always been respectful. You are prepared every week, ready to share your knowledge and eager to see us progress. Now I don't have the pleasure to know you in person, and I just want to say thank you for everything.
Hello, adult ed volunteers. This is Jody from the El Pueblo Center. I appreciate your work so much. Thank you.
Hi, this is Pete. I love teaching citizenship. It is the highlight of my week. It has been that way for a long time. These are people that so much want to be U.S. citizens and work so hard. And the things that really enlighten me and make this so fascinating is, like, for example, last night in class, I have a student that calls in on her phone from Nogales, Sonora in a parking lot. Another woman was home visiting her parents in Guanajuato. She came in on a phone as well. Had another female participant whose husband is typically on the call, and he's in Ecuador, but he wasn't on the call, which I thought would have been great. And anyway, had about 4 students, all in unique situations, and we had such a good class. In the car in Nogales, the participant had her boyfriend, sort of I could hear his voice, so I was able to get him in on it. He laughed, we all laughed, had such a good time for an hour and a half, and that's what brings joy to my heart, and I want to do this as long as I can, so thanks for the opportunity. Love the program. Thank you. Montserrat, you rock.
You can just hear the love and appreciation, can't you? It's been such a tough year, and these videos bring joy to all of us. We have a large volunteer pool in ABECC. Pre-pandemic, there were 108 of you working all over the program, and so many of you continued with us in the virtual environment. And a large group of you have only been with us virtually. What each and every one of you does is so special. I know how much care and dedication and thoughtfulness you put into your work. What you do is special and deserves to be recognized and cherished every day. We are now going to list the names of all of the volunteers who have worked with us this year. When you see your name or you see the name of someone that you recognize, please give them a shout out in the chat. And this concludes our 2020-2021 virtual Volunteer Appreciation Celebration. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted videos. It is so appreciated. I want to thank our provost, our chancellor, our ABECC leaders also for submitting videos. Thank you, Medea, for your assistance. And a very special thank you to our PCC TV team, Dan, Conrad, and Tom. Your expertise and guidance made this event so special. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
3, 2, 1.